Hi everyone and welcome back to Decades of Cooking. Today we're going to explore a recipe that is just a very famous recipe from the island that I'm from, which is Dominica, and that dish is called Codfish Sancoche, or better known, also known as Saltfish Sancoche. This is a recipe that I grew up with, and many of us from the island of Dominica, and I think from many of the other Caribbean islands, they have their variation of a saltfish sancoche. And what makes it the sancoche is that it's salted codfish that's cooked in coconut milk, and that's one of our favorite recipes growing up as a child. Actually, it's one of those recipes when we celebrate our independence. That's one of our national dishes, and it's something that you can go to the restaurants and get. Very delicious, very delicious and authentic meal. Don't forget to subscribe to Decades of Cooking and also like our channel. We'll appreciate those likes and we appreciate those subscriptions. So don't forget to like and subscribe for just wonderful recipes throughout, and different variations of recipe. So we're beginning this recipe with the saltfish, which is a salted fish. You can get it with the bone or boneless. Today I choose to do it with boneless because you're doing the one in the coconut milk. So I prefer to do it boneless. But again, it is a salted cod. We're beginning for a recipe with cutting our codfish or saltfish into sizable chunks. Once we've cut them into sizable chunks that we can boil it in some water, we wash it off before we do that. So we remove the first layer of all the salt on there. So we just wash it under some running water, and then you can just drop it into a pot of just water. And once you've done that, you can just I use a lime. I use half of a lime. If the lime is juicy, you can use half. If it's not very juicy, you can use one lime. I just squeeze the juice of one lime, and I actually drop the half of the lime in the water because you're going to boil the codfish or the saltfish out to extract that salt, because it is a very salty fish at this time, and we want to remove as much salt from that codfish or saltfish. Again, I really love this dish because it has so many vegetables, and you can, again, as always, make it your own by adding whatever types of vegetables you want. So and herbs. So I'm going to add some carrots, some Christophine. Actually in Dominica we call it Christophine. You can use some of that, some thyme. We're gonna use some garlic and some tomatoes. We're also adding some bell peppers. We have the red, orange, and green peppers. We're going to add some onions and some pimento peppers to that. We're also adding some decade pestonade, and this is a seasoning which can be used as a marinade or as a condiment, as a dressing. We actually produce that. You can find it on our website. Check in the credits below, or you can. And our coconut, which is the signature thing in that particular recipe, we're using the coconut powder. However, it's your choice. You can use the coconut milk. As you can see, we have the coconut milk and we have the coconut cream. So just to give you an idea of what our codfish will look like, this is our boneless codfish that we've boiled twice and drained. And once would leave too much salt, in my opinion. But you can boil it twice and drain it. And so once it comes out, you'll see it start shredding a little, but you are going to shred it a little bit more for the meal once you make it. So that's what our codfish would look like. So as you can see, we've nicely sliced our veggies. We've sliced them. We have not chopped them. And our peppers, we've done the same thing with. Our onions, the garlic, we've sliced also. We have not crushed it because we want the layers to be, the flavors to be balanced. The layers of the flavors to be balanced. And we have our pimento peppers and our thyme. So we get a nice saucepan, and you just put a little bit of oil. I would say just about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of oil, and you can just add all your veggies in there as you chop them. Just add them there, and we're not adding any salt because the codfish already has salt. So don't forget, don't add any salt. So while our veggies saute, I'll put it on low heat. We're going to prep our other ingredients. So we're going to do our tomatoes, our carrots, and our Christophine or chioli. Our we peel our carrot, and just to kind of show you what a chayote looks like, I've cut it in half. We're using only half of it for the quantity of codfish that we have. And again, if you want to use the whole thing, you can. It's a vegetable. It is water filled, and it's doesn't have many calories, but it really does wonders for that, for this particular dish with the coconut milk. And so once we cut it in half, you can peel it. You can use a knife or a potato peeler to peel it. And you know, you once it's peeled, you cut it in half, and you remove the heart, just like you would do a pear or an apple. You just cut the heart off, and then you get ready to cut it, dice it, or grate it. And we're going to go to the other step to show you what we do with that. You can slice it with your knife, or if you have one of those types of, I forgot what it's called, but I'm using the grater on this one side, and it just gives it a nice slice. You can just go through with it, and this is how we can do both our carrots and our Christophine. So as you can see, it gives it a really nice slice that you can use in your gravy when you add in your coconut milk. So we use that side of the grater to actually slice the Christophine and the carrots. If you can use your knife, if you don't have that, or you can be creative and you know, you can chop it, but you know, slice it's much easier to cook. And to me, the coconut milk really blends much nicer when it is sliced that way. And we just chopped our one plum tomato right there. We add a Scotch bonnet pepper. We don't cut it because that's a hot pepper, for again just for flavor. And we also add some pestonade in there. You can eyeball it. I would say maybe about you know, 2 teaspoons, or you know, sorry, not 2 teaspoons. So you can add 2 tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons of pestonade, red pestonade, to that. And you allow all your veggies to just stay and saute, get brown in the pan. Not too brown, but brown enough, as just as we have here. And then you add your tomato to it, and you do the same thing. Just allow it to saute in the vegetables right now and get a little bit more brown. Next, we follow with our carrots and our Christophine or chayote. Just have everything saute in the pan for about, I would say, you know, five minutes. So while the veggies saute, you just get a nice bowl with some water, and you add your powdered coconut milk to it. You get a whisk, and you mix it until it is nice and creamy and smooth. Now you can add your coconut milk once your vegetables are nice and soft. At about 5 to 10 minutes, you can go ahead and add your coconut milk to those sauteed vegetables. And you know, you can add a little bit more water if you want to create more gravy, to give, you know, give at least have enough gravy you can to use over your rice or whatever it is you want to have it with. We add our codfish to the gravy that we've created, the sauce that we've created, the coconut sauce, and just allow it to sit and simmer for, I would say, the next you know, 15 to 20 minutes. You can taste it. Honestly, I don't think you would need to add any salt, because again, the saltfish does have some salt. So the salt from the saltfish now will kind of let itself out into the gravy and give it salt. But if you are somebody who loves a little bit more salt, you can always go ahead and add some more salt to it. But the important thing is to taste for salt, and you just let it simmer for the next 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour if you choose. But remember, all the veggies are already cooked. The fish is cooked, so it doesn't really need it. Just everything just needs to come together in one nice gravy. So I would say 20 minutes is fine. And there you have it. You know, you can just eat it like that if you're really just into veggies, because you have the carrots and the chayote in there, which is filling, and your codfish, or you can pair it with rice, or you know, potatoes, some starch, and the coconut gravy is just amazing, and the flavors of all the vegetables. So go ahead and give it a try. You know, make it yours. You can add other types. You can put cabbage, whatever else you want to add in there. But hey, enjoy one of our childhood recipes, codfish with coconut milk, or codfish sancoche. And don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe to Decades of Cooking, where you'll get more great recipes. See you next time. Bye.